I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Public Service Committee at exactly 6:15. There's three members of the committee, myself as chair, Councilor Irish, and Councilor Perlman. And I see Councilor Perlman is remote tonight. How you doing, Councilor?
I'm doing well. How are you, Counselor?
Very good.
Short week with Thanksgiving.
And to my right, I see my Councilor John Irish. Okay, we have two agenda items, and they're both kind of interesting. It shouldn't take too long. But the first agenda item is order number 201008-143. Application for a renewed junk dealer second-hand license from Ecola ATM, LLC, 601 Donald Lynch Boulevard. And I'm just going to say a few words for new members of the committee. Ordinarily, we'd be discussing this in probably May, but it's also good to let the public know. This is a company that out at our mall, Solomon's Palm Mall, they recycle telephones. They have a console there, and basically I did it once. You go out and you can feed your old telephone in, put the serial number in, and they do an evaluation of it, and they figure out what it could be worth, and that's basically all it is, rather than let your telephone, used old telephone sit in a drawer, as I have a couple. They can give you money for it. And just a little bit of information here. They mentioned that they operate in 48 states, Massachusetts being one. They have recycled over 25 million devices. That's pretty good nationwide, 48 states. And they've been operating in Marlborough since 2012. And so far in 2020, they've collected and recycled 280 devices and paid members of our community close to $9,000. That's kind of an interesting figure there. So, they got a lot of safeguards. The police department has supported us, Chief Georgie, from day one. We have done queries on a couple of their employees. So we feel very good offering this service to the residents of the greater Marlborough. And it also gives our residents a chance to dispose of or recycle their phone and pick up a few dollars. So that's just a quick overview. So I'm going to throw it out to the members of the committee. If you have any questions or anything I didn't bring up or anything you'd like to add. Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. No, I think you mentioned a lot in there. They are one of the vendors that we see that once a year. And every year I'm very happy to see that they do have a wonderful recycling program. And they do the identification checks and balances, for as well for residents, but Marlborough residents as well, anyone who's shopping there. So I definitely are in support of this, Mr. Chair.
Right, very good. Councilor Perlman, this is I think your first shot at this kind of interesting little program we have out there. Any comments or any questions?
Yes, thank you, Chair Landers. I agree. It seems like a really interesting organization, something that I was not familiar with previously, and it's really great to see how widespread they are, both nationally, but the impact they've been able to have on the community with recycling devices. And I think that's so wonderful to hear the $9,000 going back to community members. And so I'm also very much in favor of this and support of renewing their application.
Thank you very much. President, do you have any comments or questions?
Thank you, Chair. No, I mean, it's been a great program. It's been very successful down at the Solomon Palm Mall, so I encourage, I would hope the committee votes favorably on renewing their license.
Okay, Councilor Dumas. Very good. Okay, at this time, I just really want to thank Karen. Karen, she's a great help to us, and this almost fell through the crack for a couple different reasons. And she got it going again. She had great communications with the people out in the West Coast, so that's why we're moving here. Well, that being the case, if I can have someone make a motion to recommend that we do renew their junk dealer's license. Any motion? Okay.
Thank you,
Counselor?
Mr. Chair. Yeah, motion to approve order number 20-100-8143.
Okay, thank you very much, and I'll second that. Any comments, any other questions? Okay, if we can have a vote. Counselor Perlman?
Counselor Perlman votes yes.
Thank you. Counselor Irish?
Thank you. Council Irish
Okay,
votes yes.
and likewise the chair, so it does pass 3-0. That went very well, and I think we met a 4 or 5 minute deadline there. The next item on our agenda is the petition from Eversource Energy to install approximately 465 feet of 8-inch intermediate pressure gas main as part of a system improvement on South Street between 417 South and Maple Street. And I believe, Karen, do we have someone from the gas company dialing in, or do we? Pardon? Okay, I don't think we needed that, quite honestly, because what I was gonna do is pay them a compliment. I thought they did a very good job explaining the situation at the public hearing last week, answered, I think, the questions that any of the councilors had. Just a reminder to the rest of the councilors and the public out there that this is a continued improvement that Eversource is making, changing the size of pipes and the pressure of pipes, and kind of interesting. And I think we also have in our favor that Eversource, I would say, our Department of Public Works, works very closely with Eversource. And, you know, sometimes these projects might not, I'm thinking of Pleasant Street and some of the others, maybe they don't go as fast as you'd like, but it seems like the end result is really good. So, we did get a memo from from engineer Tom DiPersio, and he always tells us that, you know, he gets involved with this, and he just mentioned that regarding this order number of installing 465 feet of intermediate pressure gas main as part of the system, that he supports it, but he does offer the following considerations. He always, and that makes me feel good that, you know, he's with it, he tells us what he wants, and then we relay that, and he does to Eversource. And basically that a field visit with Eversource and engineering division personnel should be conducted prior to the start of the work, so that the location of the new main within the roadway can be approved. The second item that Tom talks about is final trench pavement conditions will be set forth in the road opening permit. And the other one, as I think a couple of us mentioned the other night, I think I brought it up, that of course this work will not start into the spring of 2021. You know, here it is, almost the end of September. But the reason we got right on this, to approve it, get it going, and they will be ready to start in the spring. Council Perlman, any questions, any comments?
No, I think everything was answered in the public hearing, and I'm very appreciative of the city engineer for providing his thoughts and for how thorough this is, and so no further questions.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. No, just to echo what you mentioned about the city engineer, Tom DiPersio, and that it overwhelming his help throughout the years and on these projects with the, you know, the conditions set forth going forward, as well as you mentioned, this is not going to start till the spring of 2021. But that's my only comment, Mr. Chair.
Okay, any councilors have any comments or questions? And as I sit here, Councilor Navin, I have an idea, I skipped over you the last time, you know, and sometimes I yell at a chair if they don't look to the right and they don't recognize me. It's like, I looked at Councilor Irish, and I went across the room, and I went to the president. So, did you have any comments on the previous item.
You're very kind, Mr. Chair. I did not have any comments on the previous item. I echo your comments. It is a very valuable program to the city. I am grateful that we're continuing it. And on this item, I think you hit the nail on the head, right? I mean, our utility companies need to continue to invest in our infrastructure. We learned sadly up in the Merrimack Valley that, infrastructure is important and keeping it up is important. So I am glad that provided the impacts are minimized to our residents in the area, they got to continue to upgrade this gas infrastructure. So glad to see it going forward. Thank you.
Okay, so did I ask for a motion on the shed, did I? I don't think I did. Who would like to make the motion? Councilor Irish.
Motion to approve order number 20-100-8136.
I will second that. If we can have a vote, and I'll start with Councilor Perlman.
Councilor Perlman votes yes.
Thank you. Councilor Irish.
Council Irish votes yes.
The chair also will vote in the positives, so it carries 3-0. Okay, I guess the next motion, probably the most important one.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, I'll second
Second.
that. Council Perlman, oh, you seconded it and you voted on it too, huh? Okay.
I did, yes. I
But
vote for it.
I'll vote on that, and 3-0. So that is the end of our Public Service Committee meeting, and I will report these out at the next meeting, which I believe is December 7th, I think. Okay, very good, and we did very well. I think it was just around 8 or 9, 10 minutes or something like that, so that was good. And again, thank you, Karen.